Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 6, season 2.
We wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
This is the first episode of 2019, and the last episode of season
Season
2. And it is also a very special episode. We have with us the great, the amazing Ashely.
Yeah, so I talk now.
Yeah. So
It was practiced. Yes, we have a video connoisseur,
yes,
Ashely Eric Peschel, with us after
Well,
many attempts.
yes.
My fault.
After many scheduling problems.
My fault.
we actually managed it for once. No, I think everyone's fault.
Yeah, we all sort of had a fault in all the cancellations as well. But yeah,
It was
this episode
Christmas.
is quite special because we've been wanting to do something with Ashely for quite some time,
The
and since Ashely is a prominent YouTuber who does
video reviews.
videos, I mean reviews on film reviews.
Exactly.
So we thought, why not try and combine film reviews and games and talk about films that are based on games
That have suffered the effect of
What?
being a
the
film.
impact of mainstream cinema.
They're all Oscar-winning films.
Yes,
Exactly.
All of
exactly. And I
Golden Globe.
don't think they have half an Emmy between them all. But anyway. Yeah. So, Ashely, just make a quick
introduce yourself.
introduction.
Introduce myself. Hello, I'm Ashley. I like long walks on the park. No. Okay. So anyway,
This is Tinder.
hi. You can find me on. So basically, my name's Ashley. I do a YouTube channel called Peschel Talks. As the guy said, I talk about films. I do some video reviews, video game reviews sometimes, book reviews, top tens, the usual stuff. My videos are a bit not serious. I do a lot of stupid stuff sometimes. So yeah, but if you like films, check it out. It's called Peschel Talks, which is quite difficult. So yeah.
We'll put down the links on the
Yeah.
Facebook page with all the links and all that. So that will be easy to
Surname.
follow.
So
Yes,
that's
Mr.
my
Peschel.
surname's kind of weird. Yeah. So yeah, go check me out, and well, not check me out. Check out my
Check
videos.
him
If
out.
you want to check me out, you can check me out as well.
But you're married. No, you can't. You can't check them out.
We can look, but we can't touch.
So, you want to take the lead, Ash? You want to pick the first film? I mean, we have a platter of films here.
There's a couple of great films. Well, basically,
Like-
what it was.
What
the
we
first
can do
ever
is just
Super-
throw a name.
Let's start with Super Mario Brothers, which was the first ever video game movie, and this was fun. Honestly, this was actually the first time Eden Cinemas opened. It was roughly the Eden Cinema had just opened like 2 months before, so this was actually the first film I saw there. And you get sort of like hyped because everyone was playing the game on game. I had a Game Boy, and we were like, "Oh, this is gonna be so cool." When I watched it, I actually enjoyed it for the time. Now you look back at it and think, "What the crap was that?"
Exactly.
I mean, the nightmare of the Goomba remains, and then
Yeah, it's just the thing is, back then, now it's getting more difficult, but more difficult and more easy. Because back then, video games didn't really have that much of a plot. So to make a movie based on a video game, they just had to add everything and let's just create this whole world that they created for Super Mario's. Unfortunately, it's just weird. It's like someone popped a load of drugs and said, "Let's write a script." Because
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
in fact,
It's got nothing-
Mario had no action plot as such. Remember, it just started off as Jumpman, and then there was a princess involved. At least they were mentioned as plumbers.
I
Let's
believe
say
she
it
was
that way.
Luigi's girlfriend in the film, right?
in the film she was usually, and there was a whole dimension where they had to find the meteorite that killed the dinosaurs, and then
Yeah, and this comet gives you special powers.
and there was like what's that dinosaur's name? I forgot him.
Bowser.
Yoshi.
Yeah.
Aye.
Team
I
showed
mentioned
up,
the wrong
and
thing.
then it was a weird film. It's a weird film. They actually used you remember the controllers from the Super Nintendo,
Mhm.
those that were like a game. They were like guns. They actually used those things in the film.
Oh my
Really?
god. In fact, I'm saying, oh my god, I love this. I wanted to remember the face of Bowser in the film, how he was, sort of that Kingpin style look with
Yeah.
I don't know why the incredibly long tongue. What shows up in the image results is Trump also. What the fuck?
Weird. No, it
The-
is a weird thing.
The remake.
It's
Thing they had,
Um,
which was similar, was they were plumbers and they were brothers. I think that was it. Basically.
yeah.
yes, with Mario
At
being
least
the elder
that plot
brother.
remained. That they were brothers. You're going to see this screenshot on Discord, by the way. I have to send it to you, Ashley.
Of Trump.
Like, even the scenes are similar. Like, look at the first and third.
He's wearing the same suit. He's wearing the same suit.
Okay, that's the big revelation. Trump is Bowser.
Yep. Debunked. Nah. This was something we'd have enjoyed as kids. And we were saying it before the recording. At that time, we find everything exciting.
Yeah.
When we were younger.
Oh no, like when you're younger, you think like even now you go back and look at them and think, why did I like this? You know, sometimes it's best not even to rewatch films because you just have that memory that you know this was a cool film. Yeah.
Films like the film that came to mind was just totally not racist, like Never Ending Story. Do you ever watch that film?
Watched it when I was young.
Yeah, with the big flying dog dragon thing. It was one of my favorite films growing up. I watched it. I watched it a few months ago. I said, "What the hell is this?" But yeah,
actually, they say it actually stood the test of times. Well, not that much, but it's still a nice story. I think that film traumatized a lot of kids when that horse dies in it.
Yeah. I think that was the first time I ever cried in a film. When the horse is in the quicksand and he's like, "No, don't leave me,"
and it just dies.
Then just a blop, blop, blop,
I think I have no heart.
Anyway, let's continue on with the list.
Obviously, let's not go through.
No, I'm not gonna go through all of them. I was gonna
Super
jump
Mario
to
something you have to mention.
Yeah, exactly. This is the very first one. But then I was gonna mention something that was quite successful, especially when it came out. Resident Evil, the very first movie, at least. Not the other, not the.
As we said, as we said offline.
Resident Evil.
Yeah, there's so many sequels. I think there was like 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
They kept going till like when 2016.
Yeah, and I believe there's another one coming out. Am I mistaken?
Yes. Yep, they're gonna reboot it. Like not next year, the year after. It's being rebooted again.
But is it being done by someone else? Because it's the same director actresses are doing the Monster Hunter film at the moment.
Yeah, no, it's an all new cast, all new director, and all everything. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it might actually be, resemble the game instead of like the first one, as we said off air. The only one that actually resembles the game is the half of the first one, and that's it, basically.
Exactly.
I thought Mila was still in it. I thought she was still gonna play.
Oh, no, she's gonna be in Monster Hunter as William said.
As William said. All right.
Yeah, it's the same exact cast. Like after the outrage of seeing the Instagram photos of Monster Hunter, let's not go there.
Mind you, there's that, and then there's Witcher as well. I saw some.
That's a Netflix.
That's a Netflix.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
Netflix. To be honest, Netflix have a good record at the moment. They're doing lots of good stuff. So fingers crossed for that one. And
they are. I'm quite happy with the cast also, since we're kind of talking about the characters as a slightly younger self than what we know with them as in the video game.
Yeah, because it's a younger Gerald, right?
Geralt.
And the actor.
I don't know.
And he's a really good actor, and he does.
Yeah, the guy that does Superman, right?
I can't remember his name. I'm not good with names.
I'm googling his name. Superman.
We're all terrible at names.
Henry Cavill.
Don't rely on us on remembering an actor's name.
No.
As I was telling you guys off air, my videos are usually 1 hour. Most of that time is spent forgetting names, don't mispronounce a name, and editing it out.
No, we let it flow here. We just record an hour and see what happens.
Actually, in fact, I'm looking at the cast of Resident Evil. No, I'm noticing who was in the cast.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Oh, Sir.
Yeah, he's the bad guy. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. The guy who Madonna,
Guy who's
yeah,
in
the guy who's in
the-
love with Daenerys and has the scale thing.
I had the
Yeah,
guy
the
who
guy
gets
who's-
friend zoned by Daenerys.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say that friend zone.
friend zoned. Yeah. He has a castle in the friend zone. Yeah. I don't know what's his name again. Actor,
Oh, I
Game
relied
of
on you,
Thrones.
David. By the way, you're the
No, I
big Game
know,
of
but the
Thrones
names. In fact, I was talking to my friends. I'm getting slightly off track, but anyway.
Jorah, Sir Jorah.
Sir Jorah. And we were gonna watch it again. In fact, I need to refresh.
No, but Resident Evil started from 2002, kept going with like in 2016. I'm so surprised it survived over 10 years.
And Mila Jovovich didn't age a year.
A bit, yeah.
Ow.
That's true.
That's actually quite shocking. She looks the same.
Better.
Exactly. Like fine wine.
Yeah. Also, I just want to mention, because we went to Resident Evil, but there was also lots of fighting games that were turned into films. Like we had Street
Yeah.
Fighter, Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
Street
I
Fighter
mean-
is really not bad. Now
Yeah.
either I have some sort of loyalty to the brand, I don't know.
Why you're in love with Jean-Claude Van Damme?
That always.
and the Aussie, what's her
I'm-
name? Kylie Minogue.
He was
Kylie
the guy,
Minogue.
okay.
Yeah, Kylie Minogue.
But you get to see certain characters like
Yes.
Zangief, Bison, obviously.
It
Saga.
was
It had
true to the video game. It's very true to the video game.
Oh, true. Let's say true-ish. The characters looked a bit, at least, like the
Yeah.
video game. It was actually quite enjoyable. I didn't like that when we saw Blanca, we only saw him a little bit, and he was one of my favorite characters, but
Mm-hmm.
that he was kind of shit in the film. But there was another Street Fighter film which came out, Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li. Now that was crap. You know about that one?
Was it a fan film or no?
Oh no, it came out in the cinema and everything.
Oh my god.
In fact,
Okay.
Yeah,
in fact Chun-Li wasn't even Chinese in this film.
exactly.
Jesus.
There's the
Like,
girl who was used to be in Smallville and
Ah, okay. Yeah. All right. I recognize her now.
oh
so
my god.
yeah.
No. And in fact, the villain isn't even. No, I mean, Legend of Chun-Li. It doesn't look like Bison was the villain. It's.
Oh no,
I
it
keep
had Vega
forgetting
in
the
it,
mask. Yes, thank you. That one, Vega.
but that was it. There wasn't anything else in it.
Nope.
It was really bad. It was really bad, that one.
And there's the guy of American Pie in it as well. The stupid
that's
guy
just-
in
just-
American Pie.
Just shows how bad it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but when you see
well,
the,
oh, yeah.
the cover of Street Fighter, just that explosion and Van Damme just
Yeah. The actual Street Fighter, right?
like I'm throwing the cover on Discord. It's just it's beautiful.
Hero.
And it was one of those games. Films again. That growing up, it was one of those films that we would watch on Italia Uno, in Italian, so dubbed in Italian, not even in English, back then, because we're talking like 1994, right? Yeah, exactly, 94.
Plus,
So-
Van Damme was actually good at guy. You know, he actually.
Yeah, I think it was good for the part. You can't mimic Giles through hairstyle. That can only
Oh.
be that can only be done in video games.
Yeah.
Also, probably the best ever. I think one of the top 5 video game movies is definitely Mortal Kombat, the original, not the sequel. Don't mention the sequel. The sequel was rubbish. But the first, actually really good. It's still pretty holds up to this day. You know, it had some really good special effects and actors
fact-
were in it,
uh-huh.
which was.
To be honest, I don't
fact,
I
we
don't
were
believe
there.
I've watched that.
Haven't watched that. It had that, you know, that popular song, Mortal Kombat.
Kombat.
Do, 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 do,
Uh-huh.
do, 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 do.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat. Finish him. No, that had everything.
I was about to play it.
What?
I was about to play it with the
Oh, there was
game.
they
Oh,
were
the-
streaming the new game of Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
They were showing it off recently.
I saw the clips
Yesterday
that
I
they
saw some
sent out.
clips.
of the finishers, of the Mortal Kombat finishers.
Looks
Raiden
crazy.
just looks like an
Mhm.
older Legolas.
Who?
Oh yeah, it does a bit.
The guy with the long hair who had the back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's the hair that does that.
He was in Highlander, weren't he?
Nah, he's the
Mhm.
guy from Highlander. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
But at least the plot was still on point with the whole tournament. You lose, you die,
Oh.
and doesn't
No, it was
invent
on.
anything else.
The effects were quite good for the time. Sub-Zero and Scorpion were pretty
No, they look good. Like,
good. Uh-huh.
Am I being an idiot?
No, definitely.
But why is combat written spelt wrong? Isn't combat with
that's
a
a
C?
question I never asked myself, actually.
It's always
Right.
been that way. Mhm.
It's okay, right?
Just because of the film, just because of the film and games, it's always
Okay.
they've done it like that.
It has to be with an X.
Or Wombat. Mortal Wombat.
Wombat.
The Australian
More-
Australian version of Mortal Kombat. Mortal Wombat.
Yeah, but Mortal Kombat's really good, and I actually saw it. I think last year. It kind of okay. The effects, because we're talking. I think it was when 95 or something like that.
Yeah.
So the effects obviously are going to be a bit crap nowadays, but it's one of the better video game films. Not that there's been that many good video game films. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
But
Exactly.
yeah, it's probably one of the top 5 ones.
So let's move on to 2001. Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
With to be honest, Tomb Raider, I just remembered, it's the first time I believe that I saw Daniel Craig in a film.
He was, yeah.
Nowadays, James Bond. I'm a big fan of
Actually like
Daniel. Sorry.
Actually, like this Tomb Raider. It was fun at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, definitely.
No, it was
There were
quite on
two
point
films,
also.
right,
You
that
had the
came
very
out.
iconic dual pistols,
Yeah.
even the uniform,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and the whole straight to the tomb, and
Mhm.
that is her
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
It was like the Lara Croft which we used to play, because the
Yeah.
new one is based on new games. So this was and to be honest, Jolie actually looked.
Oh, she
pretty-
played good for the part, huh?
She looked really good in it. Oh yeah. But mind you, I did enjoy the last Tomb Raider as well. Although it was based
The
on
last-
the new games, it was more sort of an origin story more than anything. But again, it's like she's a different Tomb Raider than the Angelina Jolie.
Actually, I didn't know there was a
Tomb
second
Raider.
film with Angelina Jolie.
Yes,
Tomb
there were
Raider.
two.
Cradle of Life.
Now, in fact, I believe Daniel Craig was in the second one, not in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
he was in the second one. The second one, she punches a shark.
Yes, exactly. It starts. She's doing for Atlantis or something. She punches a shark. Really bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the second one actually was, and that's what most people remember, that she punches a
That's right.
shark.
Yeah, and there's a very hot scene with Daniel Craig where she
And the shower.
and then she handcuffs him to the bed or something.
But it was okay, it was fun. It was a good adventure for the time. As we said, Angelina Jolie was excellent as Lara. She actually looked really well, not as the new Lara Croft, but back then she actually looked like Lara Croft. So that was cool. What else is? We're obviously skipping over the shit ones because we don't want
Yes.
to mention. Let's just mention that there was a load of video games directed by Uwe Boll, which we won't mention, but those are basic crap.
Some kids will not understand the days of the Uwe Boll era unless they end up
Yeah.
watching the films. Like, are you really willing to go through that torment
Oh.
that we had to go through? Because now,
Let's just tell him. Let's just say that he basically, as we mentioned, he used to make money off films that used to flop, which he had the loophole. So
yeah, the whole
Not-
I'll just make money as a producer. I'm settled. I don't care how bad this film does.
yeah, let me just get a license from some video game company, and people would try and go watch it, or at least I'll get finance to make this film, and then they'll be rubbish. In fact, all his films are rated like between 0 to 5% out of 100. So that's how good they are.
For example, let me just. Do you have the rating for Alone in the Dark in front of you, or?
Yeah, yep. Alone in the Dark was rated 1 out of 100.
Jesus.
1%.
No, I was looking at In the Name of the King, a Dungeon Siege Tale 4. That has
That's
the
4.
one that has.
But that's because of
Jason
Jason Statham.
right in it.
Yeah, that's probably
Again,
his
it's
highest
4%.
rating.
It's highest rating.
I mean, I can't like the whole scene of seeing Jason Statham as just farm guy, like, and all of a sudden saves the world. Makes sense,
Hey, I'm
right?
a farmer.
Alone in the Dark, you said, Will. That's 1%. That's it.
Yeah, that's.
Mind you, Tekken has
Yeah.
0% from Rotten Tomato.
As we were saying offline, I don't think anyone knew there was a Tekken movie.
Exactly.
It was so. And it
Actually, I should
came
bring
out
this
like.
up to the Tekken community, guys.
Did you know there's a film?
Yeah, and he's the same guy that did Far Cry, right?
Yes.
And the rating for that is not available.
Far Cry.
Yeah,
no one-
Far Cry.
It's so bad.
They
It
didn't
shouldn't
even
exist.
bother to rate it.
Far Cry film. I mean, at least the
No,
film
it's shit
cover
and
looks
it has
like
nothing to do with
the game
with the
cover
game.
of the first one, sort of.
Sort of. The Africa one, yeah. Sort of.
Let's get back to decent ones.
Yes.
Decent
this-
ones. No, I mean,
Yeah.
decent one. We can already say the Tomb Raider when it evolved to the new one now. So
Yeah.
not the
new
Angelina
one-
Jolie.
The new one went quite
new
quite well, right? 51%.
It was 51%. It's the highest rating video game movie, which is 51%, which is still, but it's in the middle. To be honest, I actually liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good step in the right direction. At least it had a good plot, good actress. It wasn't stupid. So I actually enjoyed it a lot. I was actually hoping they make a sequel, but
It sort of was set
so-
up for a sequel, right?
It is.
Even
Make
she
that
she
much
she
money,
gets the dual guns at the very end of the
now
the
that,
Yeah,
film.
the
that's a
icon-
sequel I would want.
Exactly.
Like kind of cross fingers that it doesn't get worse. But I would be looking forward to another Tomb Raider. Now either it goes on, maybe now the games are out, so either the sequel would end up being as part of what's already out, because the plot was sort of similar to the first game. It was quite online.
It was. Yeah,
The
it was,
only differences were how Lara's introduced, where in the film she's introduced as just someone
A bike messenger.
who she just wants to grow up more as
Yeah.
an individual rather than
She
inherit her
goes searching
dad's.
for her father.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's when the whole trying to sign up for his inheritance, she starts to sort of figure out what's wrong with her dad.
Even the villain is set up at the very end of the film, so it was sort of set up for that, and plus Alyssa Vikander. Oh my god, mega crush.
Hey.
Jesus.
No, it was really good actually. But the thing is, it didn't really do that well at the box office.
No.
So
No, I mean
sometimes that
even
affects.
like
Mine
if
still,
I
it
go,
made-
It made
made
like
273
200 million.
million.
Yeah, exactly.
3
And,
million worldwide. So.
yeah, I mean that's very good. And I'm looking at the list, and there's the last film that there's is Rampage. That's the Rock one. The
Yeah,
one with
because
the
it was
big
based on
monkey.
an old arcade video game.
Really? I had no
Rampage is
idea.
sort of like King Kong.
Okay. Now I get the film, but I had no idea it was related
Related to-
on a game.
Yeah, technically, it's a video game movie that no one really knows because it was just on one of these really old arcades, sort of like Donkey Kong. It was something like that.
All right.
The game. But it was just an arcade, or I think it was on Nintendo, something like that.
Though
But it wasn't
according to
like-
Rotten Tomatoes, audience score
Rampage.
is quite high, yeah? Like 75%.
Rampage.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a bad film. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was. There was a lot of silly stuff in it, but it was a. To be honest, it's a film about two monsters, monsters fighting, and there wasn't really that much of that in it. There was more like the humans talking and things like that. When they got to the creatures fighting, that was fun.
Alright.
That it just took way too long between the creatures fighting.
It's a big
You're just
monkey and a
filling in
big
time.
wolf, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
I haven't watched the
crocodile, a
Hunger Games.
wolf, and
A
a
crocodile.
gorilla.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's fun.
you just watch it for the sake of having fun for the action itself.
Yeah.
There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with sort of a stupid film that's enjoyable. Let's call it that.
No. Sometimes you just have to shut off your mind and like enjoy a film. Like sometimes films need to embrace their silliness and corniness and all that. One film that actually does that, it's not a video game, but just so you guys, I think you haven't guys watched it yet, you need to watch out Aquaman, because that is a film that embraces how silly, and it does lots of goofiness in it, but it does it, you just like have a smile on your face and just enjoy it, because it's just so fun.
It's pure fun.
And yeah,
I haven't watched that either, as you said, but that's what I've heard. It's very long, and the person who saw it described it to me as one of the best DC films that has come out recently, because it does have a bit of Marvel in it in a way that it doesn't take itself too seriously, because all the other DC films, I mean, Man of Steel and all the others, Batman and Batman vs Superman,
Man of Steel was Ek, and even Justice League suffered.
They were serious. They were very serious films, you know.
this just has fun with it, and Momoa is just cool. He's just cool as a person.
Yes.
And this film he just rocks it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And also it's Amber Head, so it's worth watching it. Just
yes.
to see her.
Yeah.
Oh yes. And
what
he
else?
does make it.
Oh, also, we might as well mention that there was Doom in 2005, which
Oh yes.
We were mentioning this
Doom.
before as well. It's one of those films that didn't do too well, right? But me, as a gamer or as a fanboy, whatever, I absolutely loved it.
I think it's back to
See,
what
that's-
we were saying before. Like, stupid is fun.
Yes, exactly.
especially that first person scene, that was just ripped out of the game, and it was so cool to watch it in 3D and all that.
It's sort of weird, the transition, sort of like, you just see him get up after taking the injection, and he's like, okay, where am I? I need to find my sister, sort of. It just, he was knocked unconscious, he was on the verge of death, and then just grabs a gun. Just, oh no, all these things that were giving us trouble in the past, dead. Dead.
Just kill him.
And for example, at a point the door opens, and then there's this like monster scarecrow thing that goes wah 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 wah, and he just like blows his head off.
It's like you're walking through like a fanfare's haunted house.
Exactly.
You just see this thing pop up in front of you, like one of these big demons, and it's like, brr. He doesn't attack, he just taunts in front of him.
Yeah.
Calmly just aims his gun at him, dies, off to the next one.
And then it ends with him fighting that guy in the wheelchair, right? After he's been taken.
That's I know that the demon's called a Pinky Demon.
Pinky Demon.
Pinky. But
it was cool. That scene, basically, that scene was very cool. I enjoyed it.
I mean, I don't. It's the first time that I saw also The Rock play a particular role. I don't want to say it exactly because it might be spoiled. I don't know if we should mention it or not.
What? Go for it. Oh
yeah, fuck it. Might be spoiler. You should have watched it.
Of course, 2010 date.
To me, it was the first time that I saw The Rock play sort of the antagonist in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a bad guy. I think he's never played a bad guy before. I think that's the only time he's ever played a bad guy, if I can recall. I haven't seen him and he was quite good in it. You know, I would love to see him.
He got pissed off.
Mind you, in interviews with fans and all that, he's always apologizing for Doom. Eh?
Why?
So it's one of those. It's like Ryan Reynolds apologizing for Green Lantern. To him, to The Rock, Doom is the same. I don't know. I mean, I loved it, but it wasn't. I mean, as a movie, it didn't do too well. So maybe that would be it.
Pity he sees it that way.
Yeah.
It's like the guys from going back to it, Super Mario.
Yeah.
Bob Fosse, they and John Leguizamo, they always apologize for Super Mario.
Yeah. I mean, and another film that maybe we can mention that, I mean, I loved it again. And even it is, maybe it's not too true to the game, but didn't do too well, but it's a very good film, at least in my book, is Silent Hill, the first movie.
Yes, that was it was actually quite close to the game. I thought, you know, it had the fog, it had the mist
Yeah.
and all that. It was quite close to the. It had the atmosphere of the game,
Yeah, and
and the
the
villain was
nurses, I believe
definitely.
those are also very close to the
Yeah,
game,
that I
right?
admit I haven't watched, but I heard a lot of good things about it, and the trailer shows the original sort of Silent Hill
Mhm.
1 foggy town, like
But is
this
it
It was.
shit.
is the story also a woman trying to find her child, her daughter?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Silent Hill 1, it is someone
I think
looking
so.
for someone.
It's
I
her
think it
daughter.
was.
I can't. Oh.
But it was
Maybe-
this Silent Hill 1 plot. I don't know it by heart.
But I'm not a big fan of horror films, but this I watched and I enjoyed it. I really did.
Nah, it's not bad as a horror film. It's just Silent Hill is just meant to make you feel uncomfortable, but that's it. It's not. It's not the type of horror where it relies on jump scare.
It's sort of like atmosphere, like slow paced as well. It's very,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
in the mist, the mystery, and all that.
Yeah.
But it
Exactly.
was very. It had a lot similar to the game, so it was quite loyal to the game.
What I didn't understand, Ash, maybe you can tell me this is how come they didn't never technically got out of the town? Because you know how it ends, like they're still in the mist and
Yeah.
they're not in,
Hmm.
they're like in a different dimension or whatever. Ooh, that I didn't get. Because I mean, they did kill the demon and all that, right?
Yeah, to be honest, that was. I'm gonna be straight with that. That was as well. I couldn't understand how it ended. In fact, that was one of the things that, like, oh, is that how it ends? You sort of like.
Yeah,
It was a disappointing for me as
yeah,
well. I thought,
M- may,
didn't they save? Why are they
yeah,
stuck there now?
exactly. Maybe they were setting it up for the sequel, which I haven't watched the sequel, but
The sequel's rubbish. They said
yeah,
quite. In fact, it went way down. The sequel.
okay.
I think it was the same cast, so but it was just so bad that I didn't want to. Talking to about video games that were quite decent, I actually really love this. Now, I'm not a fan of first of all Warcraft. We're talking about now. They
Mm-hmm.
say that
Oh yes.
I'm not a big fan of World of Warcraft. I've never played World of Warcraft. I played the old Warcrafts 1, 2, and 3, but not World of Warcraft. So a lot of people said they didn't like it because it wasn't, you know, they changed a lot of the lore and that. But I just enjoyed it. I thought it was a good film.
I
I
think
thought
it was the sort
Yeah.
of because the film was basically, if I understand, if this is how I remember it, they basically handed the rights to the film to people who are fans of Warcraft to see how that goes, and sort of worked out in their favor.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a lot of changes to the plot, either because of to make it work as a film, because there are a lot of differences. In fact, I have like you can find the differences
I think
online. There's a wiki with all the plot differences, such as like
I thought it,
how the king was
as I said,
how one of the characters was assassinated, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
as as I said, I'm not really big on the Warcraft lore, but as someone who didn't know about the lore, I just thought it was a good film. Fun. It was sort of like this fun adventure with lots of magic, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, if you're
But I
not
can
picky
see like
about the story.
I've got a friend who plays World of Warcraft quite a lot, and he's not fussy, so he actually really liked the film as well. So there were people who liked it, and, as usual, there's people who's gonna like it, and there's people who's gonna say, "Oh,
Yeah.
his face was blue instead of green," or something like that.
Yes,
All
yes,
right,
yes. Yeah.
or he had a sword instead of an axe, and all that crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to see past the differences. I don't know if there's ever going to make another one after that, because there's obviously so much more plot that you can do with Warcraft.
So actually really made a load of money because the budget was the thing it had against it was the budget was quite expensive. It was around 140 million to make the budget, but it actually made 450, 440 million. So it made money. It's just because the budget was quite big.
Mm-hmm.
I
I mean,
think it was overly
and you understand the budget being quite big with all that CGI. I mean, most of it, I believe, was filmed behind the green, in front of a green screen.
You need the 3D for everything. It wasn't. I don't see it at back of, like, as far as I remember, it wasn't like the most top-notch CGI you could see, but was still.
I think it was quite decent.
It was still
Quite
decent.
decent. It was colorful a lot because obviously You know,
But
the
Warcraft
alliance
is
was all
known to be colorful.
Yeah, and it had different
Why-
type of orcs and ogres, right? There weren't only the green ones. There were like mountain orcs and different races of orcs, which I'm not sure. Do you get those in the game? The different races of orcs? Because I thought.
But the green orcs are due to the sort of not plague, but the magic that they succumb to.
No, right.
Yeah.
There's a reason why there are the green, the brown, stuff like that.
Okay.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. You know,
Mm.
I don't think it. I think for the casual, I think they jammed a lot into it. They added so many like references and things like that. So the casual pro games and stuff like that was kind of lost because there was all these different plot points and things like that. So, you know, I think they knew they were probably going to have one chance, so they tried to put so much things, set up so many sequels that
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it failed that way. Because in fact it's rated like 28% out of 100, which is pretty bad.
Wow,
Yeah.
But-
critic review, I'm assuming.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. It's a Rotten Tomato.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
audience and then Rotten Tomato.
And it's different because that's why I don't like to base. Even before I watch a film, I don't really look at Rotten Tomato or IMDb. I sort of look at as much trailers as I can and then just try and gauge by myself, you know, because they would rate it as a film, whilst me being a fanboy of the game, I would definitely rate it higher, you know, simply because it's Warcraft. So it would be definitely a film I would watch.
No, in fact, the audience score is like 77%, which
It's quite
Yeah, that's right.
quite good.
just goes to show it did its job. People
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Another- Yeah.
what I'm doing lately is I'm watching the first trailer because you know they do about 5 different trailers before the film comes in. I'm just watching one trailer because lately they tend to spoil way too much in trailers, and I just
Really?
watch one trailer. If it looks okay, that's good enough for me.
No,
Yeah.
I go the opposite. I try and watch as much trailers as I can. I'm not gonna. I don't like talking to people who have watched it unless I'm definite. For example, I'm a big fan of the Marvel films, so I wouldn't talk to anyone who's watched the film if I haven't watched it yet. But trailers I would watch, and interviews with the actors I would watch. I would sort of prepare myself like that, you know. And to be honest, I haven't. They haven't. All these trailers haven't really spoiled the movie for me yet.
It depends. Like if you've seen like there's this one trailer for Aquaman which is 4 minutes long. I don't know if you've seen that trailer. It's like 4 minutes long and basically 75% of the plot.
Okay.
Wow.
Which you know, because it's as I said, it's 4 minutes long. And when I saw this trailer, I was thinking, why? Why is a trailer 4 minutes long?
4 minutes long.
And it shows a lot of And I was thinking, oh, so I tried to just watch the first trailer, unless it's really, really, you know, like sometimes they do these teaser trailers where you don't see anything, you just see the logo come up. So then I would have to watch another trailer.
Yeah.
But I try not to watch too many. Coming up this year, video games. This year we've got Detective Pikachu, which Pokemon. Have
Yes.
you seen the trailer for that?
Yes, which is
Ryan
basically
Reynolds
Pikachu with Deadpool's voice.
Kind of like.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, Ryan
Why is
Reynolds has
Deadpool
been ruined.
Pikachu sort of? No one can unsee, and the amount of memes.
Exactly.
After
mean,
the first
Close
trailer,
your
it was
eyes,
already
it's Deadpool.
the amount of drawings online of Pikachu dressed up as Deadpool.
Deadpool, yes.
Pikapool.
That's true.
Deadchu.
I actually saw someone recut the trailer and added Deadpool's words because when Pikachu speaks, like beep.
Yeah.
But it actually looked quite good. I'm not a really big Pokemon fan, to be honest, but the trailer looks funny. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's different from the usual sort of Pokemon lore that Pikachu in my head. The Pokemon lore that and world that we're used to, because it's like mixed Blade Runner and Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I got
Yeah.
from the trailer.
The trailer, yeah.
It's not this beautiful, vibrant world where Pokemon just run free and wild, and then the cities are sort of futuristic, but at the same time so clean.
No, it looks. I'm pretty excited with it because Reynolds, and I think he's gonna.
In fact, it wasn't even going to be Ryan Reynolds in the beginning.
No?
Oh no, it was. No, it wasn't gonna be Ryan Reynolds. I can't remember who it was.
What?
Can't remember.
I can't remember who was.
Detective.
At first, I thought it was going to be De Niro, but no, it wasn't
De
him. I
Niro.
can't remember. Detective Pikachu, first actor.
It looks
Also,
Google.
Also, you know what's coming out, which is going to be funny, and I actually put it in 10 films I want to watch this year. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh,
really? That's coming out?
I'm sending you.
The slow reveals of the poster.
The poster. Look at that. So far, we haven't seen the full,
Cool.
but that's
Cool.
Here we go.
Yeah, in fact, it's
Fast and Furious.
scary in a way because
Faster
look
and
at the
Furious.
ratio of his legs and body compared to his head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His hands also. His
do you
hand.
think
At
they're
first,
gonna
I thought
make?
they were sort of claws, but they're not. Because they have to
It's going to be that
glove.
one of those. It's going to be one of those live-action hybrid films.
Really?
So,
Like the Lion King that they've been doing in those films?
The
And-
sort of.
Not
Sort
a
of,
full
but it's
animation.
going to be like, where you have human characters, like Detective Pikachu. So you can have human
Yeah,
characters, and then you can have Sonic as a CGI character.
Okay.
So
They're mentioning Jim Carrey as Dr.
Robotnik,
Robotnik. Yeah.
yeah, he's been confirmed. Then
Cool. That's something I look forward to.
the
That
posters,
green
I'm sending-
eye. Just. There are people.
sending you
sort
another
of-
poster. This was an official poster. Look at his legs.
Jesus Christ. Those are the Rock's legs.
What the hell was?
Please, you're just kidding.
Please
That-
say
that's
you're
a
just
someone
kidding.
That someone edited, but the official poster said had that legs, and he said Sonic doesn't skip on leg day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the legs don't look. Yeah,
And that's scheduled to
But-
come out tonight. I mean this year. Sorry.
I think it's coming out end of the year, something like that.
End of the year. Cool.
Christmas time.
Cool.
It's going to ruin
Yeah,
2019.
initial release date is 8 November 2019.
It's going to ruin the whole year, this one film.
November. So top 10 films I want to watch because I'm interested. I used to like play Sonic. It's again like Super Mario. There isn't really that much
Yeah.
of a plot. There is a bit
Exactly.
of plot, but
And is it similar
into
to Super Mario? Like Dr. Robotnik steals a girl or something, right? No.
No, he just wants to take
Oh,
over
He
the
just wants to take
world.
over the world and you're trying to save the world, right? Okay.
But then each game has a sort of twist to the plot.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be. It's like I was talking to someone and they said it's either gonna be epically great or epically crap.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm also I'm kind of sort of scared to see what music they're gonna put for this.
Do
Film.
do do do. Yeah.
Traveling around at the speed of sound.
Yeah.
So,
But so far the
Like-
posters haven't
Yeah.
impressed people. So.
mm-hmm. I think we can get back to the list. There are a few films we didn't mention, like
Fast and the
like Prince of Persia. I quite enjoyed that
Yeah.
as well. Prince of Persia,
Yeah, that was
Sands of
actually quite
Time.
That was a big budget one. That was because that
Yeah.
was actually by Disney. So the first time Disney tried to make a video game movie.
Okay.
It wasn't too bad. It had a
Hey,
lot
Prince
of
of Persia
talent
was
as well.
Disney.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. I mean, they had the two main actors. Like there was Jake Gyllenhaal, I believe, and I'm forgetting the name of the princess, which I believe
Ooh.
she's the same actress that does Clash of the Titans. But
Yeah,
I can't remember. I know
Sorry.
she's gorgeous.
Gemma Arterton.
Yes,
Ah,
that's her.
Gemma-
That's her.
Gemma Arterton.
And it had Ben Kingsley in it as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't
No,
a bad
as
film.
as the villain, I love the villain.
It's actually produced by the people who made Pirates of the Caribbean. So
Yeah.
it was a big budget attempt by Disney, but it flopped for them, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My ratings are not bad. If I look at IMDb.
It was. Uh-huh.
But then the audience for Rotten Tomatoes is like 58.
And the budget they spent, I'm checking here, it said it was between 150 and 200 million budget on this film.
Bloody hell.
Jesus.
But
And
that
it just
was
made
strong
300
action.
At least they got something back.
Still a flop when it does that kind.
Considering, yeah.
I think they could have redeemed themselves with a sequel. They could have done one more attempt.
Really? I mean, the games are amazing. Even the stories in the games are amazing.
I loved the stories. I mean, the games from... okay, so I mean, Prince of Persia goes down for quite a long time. The original is sort of from the DOS era. Not even DOS.
I think it's one of the very first games I've played on DOS. The very first Prince of Persia. With that pixelated grey stone with the metal teeth.
It's difficult as hell, that game.
Yeah.
And that had a time limit. So every time I remember playing the game and I see you have so many minutes left, I'm like, as a kid, I don't want this pressure.
But even the newer games, like there was a game on, I think it was PS3, the Prince of Persia, when it was rebooted or something. That was really good. I enjoyed that game.
Yeah.
There were three games.
Reboot.
Sands of Times.
That's Sands of Time.
That's the first one.
Two Thrones.
Two Thrones, and I believe
And
there was
Warrior
a third
Within.
one, Warrior Within, yes.
Actually,
exactly.
I think we mixed up. Or was
The
Warrior Within
sequence.
the last one?
It could be the sequence. I think Two Thrones is the last one.
Exactly. And
Because
then
I
there was the
played the-
reboot that Ashely mentioned. Yeah.
uh-huh.
The reboot on the PS3. That's the game I played. That was really good.
The really colorful one, right? It was sort of that cel shading effect.
Mm-hmm.
Now that was really nice. It wasn't received that well, I think, but I really liked it. Now either because of how it ended.
Mm-hmm.
So
It was an enjoyable
There was
game.
also a Wii version of Prince of Persia, Rival Swords. Apparently.
2008. Yeah, it was in 2008.
Yes, of course. I remember playing them on my old PC. Especially the last one.
Yeah, it was on Game Boy as well, the original one.
Yeah.
Which was cool. I'm seeing it now as a cover.
Yeah. Another film we can mention is Need for Speed. Again, a game that doesn't really have a story.
Film, to be honest.
You what?
I haven't seen that film. I was never like a really big fan of the. Cars are not my thing. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay. I'm a bit of a car fan. I mean, that was part of it. I mean, the list of cars in the game. There are some very nice cars, especially the Lamborghini and the Mustang that he rolls around in. But again, you can't really say it's true to the story because Need for Speed doesn't really have a plot, though. Especially the first three games. The first three games that I remember, back in the 90s.
No, it has Aaron Paul, the guy from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, exactly. There was him and the guy who does in the tower. I like him as an actor as well. He does Spider-Man: Homecoming. He's the villain in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Michael Keaton.
Yes, exactly.
Original Batman.
Yeah, exactly. That's him.
Was he?
I'm just checking it.
Yes. He was the original Batman.
I have such a bad memory.
It's actually Rami Malek in it as well. The guy who's
Yes,
Freddie
I
Mercury.
forgot him. Yes. There's Rami Malek, and then there's the guy that does Devil's Double. The British guy. He's the villain in it.
Dominic Cooper.
Yes, that's him. You're not that bad in name, is he?
Quite a big cast. I might check it out.
Mm-hmm. No, it's an easy film to watch. I mean, even the premise of it starts off quite early. You know, in the first 5 minutes, there's a race. Then you get the story, what happens, and you know, it's quite fast paced. It's not dragging at all. I enjoyed it. I loved it. And as I said, I don't think you need to be a car fan to really enjoy it. To be honest.
I might check it out. Oh yes, oh yeah. Before we, yeah, there's definitely I wanted to mention this one. Not this year, next year, Uncharted is being made in a movie. Well, supposed to be made because it keeps going in production hell.
They never
but the
finalized.
guy who's playing Nathan Drake is really bad. Man,
Really?
they've chose Tom Holland.
Yeah, really, Tom Holland of all people. Maybe he's going to be a very young Nathan Drake.
Yeah, they're doing that. He's going to be a very young, an origin story. But
okay,
why? I don't like it when they do that.
I watched that short fan film trailer, and he's really good as Nathan Drake in it. The guy who does Castle, a series Castle, I forgot, and he does Two Guys, a Girl in a Pizza Place as well.
Nathan.
Yeah. And has the first name, which is very good. But that fan-made trailer was really good. I don't know why.
It was fantastic, and like they picked the right guy. It was the perfect setting.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
But I don't agree that they're gonna. I just don't. Even if it's gonna be a young Nathan Drake, but why would you want? Just start it when he's grown up, when it's a proper adventure, not when he's young.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen him become a proper adventure from Uncharted 1, so...
Mm-hmm. And then there's a bit of a throwback, I believe, in Uncharted 2. The second one and the third one, flashbacks. Where
Uncharted 3 has a lot of
him
flashbacks.
And his brother. I think
Uncharted
it's the third
3.
one. That's the third one.
Yeah,
exactly.
Uncharted 2, it has some
yes, it had one where he's in the museum in Brazil. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't agree. There's so many actors that could have fit the role, and why do they have to do like that? Like, for me personally, I've loved to see the guy who plays Lucifer as Nathan Drake.
Cool.
Like,
that's a really good choice.
Yes.
Like, if you look,
yes,
that would be.
But I guess he's still committed to Lucifer.
But still, no, I think they could have done better. They went with Tom Holland. I think because he's on a roll because of Spider-Man.
Yes,
that,
most probably.
Still.
He's a bit of a favorite at the moment.
And still, I think with teens.
And apparently he's quite athletic. I mean, he has a background in gymnastics and all that. Maybe if you know how the games are based on Drake being, climbing and all that. Maybe that's what they saw in him more than anything. That he would be.
We could get Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Tom Cruise, he's a bit too old now, I think, to play such a character.
Yeah, but as I said, that already lowered my interest. I still watch it because, as I said, I love.
No, maybe we're wrong. Who knows?
Yeah, definitely.
You can never
most probably we are wrong, but yeah,
What do you mean we're wrong? Why can we?
No, we're never wrong. Never.
We are absolute.
Yeah. Another game, I think it's also coming out this year, Hitman. There's like 2 or 3 different installments of Hitman that have come out throughout the years. 2?
Yeah, there's been 2 so far. I haven't heard there's going to be another one.
Okay.
They keep between the first one and the second one.
Which one do you prefer, the first or the second?
I prefer the first one, to be honest.
Even me. Yeah,
I like.
Same.
No, the first one I think I do prefer also.
It was more polished than the.
Mm-hmm. But both of them are true to the game in a way that, you've got the guy, the hitman with the bald shaved head and all that, taking orders from a laptop. But I think the second one sort of landed a bit flat, in my opinion. But the first one, I loved it. The first one, especially, I was going through that phase of playing the Hitman games, so the timing couldn't have been perfect, more better. But yeah, it's The first one, even when he gets the, for example, there's that scene that I will always remember. Where he just gets the guns out of the ice bucket, out of the ice machine, and he just runs
Yeah.
out of the balcony and disappears. That's cool.
No, it's a cool film. As we said, some of these films are like rated really bad, really bad, but they're fun. You know, I enjoyed. Okay, there's some that we mentioned that are really, 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 really bad, but there's some like there's enjoyment and
Yeah,
that.
definitely. Max
As
Payne
well.
also
Yeah,
wasn't that bad. It it wasn't. I mean, it had a. It was Mark Wahlberg, if I'm not mixing things up, who played Max
Mark.
Payne. But there was an element of demons in it, which in the movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
But isn't that because of the whole drug thing?
Yeah, and you didn't get that in the game, so I was a very, very, very big Max Payne fan. I mean, I remember 17, 16-year-old me with a very good friend of mine just playing the game on our PCs without even watching the dialogue and just with music playing in the background, especially that song, Let the Bodies Hit the Floor.
All right. Oh yeah,
yeah,
classic.
exactly. But yeah, that movie was a bit disappointing for me, at least.
In fact, as soon as I typed in Max Payne film in the reviews, like the first thing I find, what the fuck, demons?
Exactly. They made no sense at all.
Yeah, one film we haven't mentioned, which we should, and we should be ashamed that we didn't mention it, was Assassin's Creed, which was filmed a lot in Malta.
Yes, of course.
Which also apparently didn't do that well.
No, it
either.
didn't do that well.
Oh no, it really flopped because it was budget 125 million and it made 240 million. So in films, if the budget is over 100, it has to make enough 500 to make a profit because with all the publicity and everything. So yeah, it did really, and it was really bad.
Like it was so bad, even the audience score, like Rotten Tomatoes, is 43. So something did go wrong.
It wasn't. No, it was just. And to be honest, Assassin's Creed have so many storylines and different plots. It was always difficult to try and make a film. What the main issue I had is they focused too much on the modern time instead of when the thing that we actually want to watch, which was the assassins in the the medieval times.
100%.
There's too much in the futuristic and that people don't go even in the games when the first bit, when it's in the future, there's hardly any of that in the game. It's mostly that they go back to. So they made the complete opposite and they messed it up.
Yeah, there are only small parts in the present time that you see that just help with plot development. Like kind of, this is what's happening. This is what the company you're stuck in at the moment is what's trying to do, stuff like that. And now even more, the modern games, the current Assassin's Creed, you don't see much present time plot happening right now. You don't see much about the Animus and the what's the name of the corporation?
Abstergo.
Yeah.
And then for the film, they went the complete of present time and little bits of the past.
I've said in previous podcasts, I was a very big fan of Assassin's Creed, especially the first 4 games. But I would have loved to see the film just paying homage to, I don't know, Altair, the very first
right.
I think that's what people really wanted.
Yeah, I mean, just get Altair fighting in the Crusades and maybe link it back to the future a bit. But no, we didn't get that. Which is, as you guys said, very disappointing.
And I think that's why it flopped. And as we said, even the audience didn't. Usually, you see critics hating it, but the audience is sort of like, okay, this was Yeah,
This was fun to
no
watch.
Yeah.
No one enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
Which was a shame because, as we said, we see Valletta, we see Dina, we see
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah,
I
it
mean-
was filmed in yeah, and there is, I mean, if you're Maltese, you can like watch the movie and say, "Oh, that's Valletta, that's Mdina, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Rabat, yeah,
At least you can actually spot them.
yeah."
Because we do go crazy as Maltese people just hearing of like this film was filmed in Malta, like, oh my god.
And like, it was filmed in the big tank back in Rinella.
Yeah.
And you don't actually see any of Malta.
The best time I was disappointed about a film or a series being filmed in Malta was
I was gonna say Gladiator, but no,
no,
there are parts of Gladiator
Sense8.
where you can actually what
Sense8 on Netflix.
Sense8.
that was filmed in
Sense8.
Malta.
There was a scene in the last season that was filmed in Malta.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend and I are like going, oh my god, where is it? Where is it? Like, this is really cool that we loved the series at the time. We watched the whole series and we didn't spot Malta. We're like, where the fuck is it? I googled it. The only time Malta was filmed was in the fucking sea of
Behind the
Cremona.
scenes, apparently you can see it quite. Yeah.
like an underwater scene where you don't even see any landscape. Nothing.
Nothing.
Like, are you fucking serious that you flew all the way to film this fucking part?
Is it because I've done it in a pool?
No wonder Netflix were removing this series because it was too expensive.
They just
Yeah,
maybe they needed an excuse to visit a club island, a clubbing island. But yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
who were they of Matrix? The Wachowski brothers?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were the directors of the film, of the
Right.
series. They just...
They wanted a holiday.
Exactly. It was
Let's
like
go
free
get
holiday,
wasted
part
for-
of the budget.
Yeah. I mean, even recently, there's that series Queen of the South. Apparently, the first 3 or 2 episodes of season 3, if I'm not mistaken, she actually migrates from South America or America, wherever, to Malta. To yeah, she does, and you can see her walking through Valletta. It's very obvious it's Malta, and apparently they also used Malta as a current. I mean, the way people are looking at Malta right now is because of the passports and all that, and apparently she actually comes here either to launder money or for a passport or something of the sort. I don't watch the series. Yeah, so they kept like Malta in modern times. They didn't use old Malta.
Wasn't there something also in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yes, even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, I remember that. It wasn't filmed in Malta, though.
But
No,
we were mentioned.
We were
as well.
mentioned as the headquarters of some evil guy. Or
But
some-
it was very apparent that it wasn't filmed in Malta. That they just used the. To be honest, even I complete opposite. But I read a book series by Matthew Riley, and he's one of my favorite authors. And in the last book, he mentioned Malta, but he mentioned it in the 2 chapters. And one of the things was these guys got a tank from Malta. I was thinking, what tank? We don't have tanks. What are they on about? Sometimes people just don't do research.
Yeah.
And he said, like, chopped over from Malta to pick up a tank. Tank? We're tank. We don't have tank. Let's go.
Maybe manufactured by
Maybe a
Skoda,
water
since that was
tank
the
on the
only brand
roof
we
or
had in the
something,
past.
Tank tal-ilma.
Tank tal-ilma. Hate you.
That's it.
And I was thinking, like, when I was reading, wait, what? Since when do we have tanks or military? Things like that. It's just,
We only
all
have,
right,
like,
so some
2
people.
planes called Hope and Peace.
In fact,
or
do they
no,
have,
then-
like,
let
Skoda
alone
tanks.
By Frank Borda. Tanks by Frank Borda.
That's it. Anyway, I think, guys,
Tank
we
tal-Kazan Mamo.
Inxurjat ma minn inxurjat full third party.
To me, I mean, we can say from here that the best game films, like digressing back to the whole film thing, is the good ones were those that actually stuck to the actual video game plot.
Mm.
Like we said, Tomb Raider is good. Warcraft was not bad, and that was a sort of part of the plot also. Prince of
was okay 'cause
Persia,
it-
okay?
Yeah.
Pardon?
Fighter was okay because the characters were real
Street Fighter
resembled.
were in line, exactly.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat, the first half of Resident Evil.
Yep.
I think
I
that's
can
it,
also-
really.
I can say the same also for I don't know if anyone saw the Final Fantasy films.
New.
Yes, I've
The
seen them.
animations. Or
Spirits were in that had nothing to do with the game.
Exactly.
You know,
That film was
But-
shit. Spirits
Had
Within had
nothing
nothing
to
to do. Yeah.
Final Fantasy as the name, and that's it. There was nothing to do with the games at all.
Then there was the film that came out, which was a sequel to the game Final Fantasy VII, which did much
Advent
better.
Children. Yeah,
Yeah,
Advent Children. Yeah. That was actually quite good. Yeah, and it was a direct sequel to probably the best Final Fantasy game ever.
Yep. Now we'll just get a bunch of comments saying like which is the best Final Fantasy, and everyone hates us. And the war begins.
PS1 was, that's the Final Fantasy.
Our
remember.
golden days of PlayStation 1.
So,
But to me,
and
the
it just
best
had
video
a-
game film is. Pardon, Ashley?
Sorry? For me, if we're gonna choose probably my favorite video game film of all time, I would probably go with. Honestly, I'll probably go with Warcraft because I really enjoyed it a lot. As I said, I wasn't biased on the lore and all that. I just thought it's well made and it was just fun. I loved everything. I loved the music at the start. It was just brilliant.
Yes, it's a good fan film.
Yeah.
Do you have a
Obviously,
favorite,
as I
Dave?
said,
I would go with Doom. I loved Doom. I mean, I watched it a few months ago again. I love it. I mean, I know, as we said, it didn't do too well, but that first person part, it's and when it came out, it's one of the films that I'll never forget. That's one of my childhood teenage years films. So yeah, I'll choose Doom. You, Will?
I think I'm just going to pick a film that isn't originated from games, but has the most game elements
You can't
as
you
part
can't.
of the film.
Don't go with the Spielberg one,
Which one?
the one that just came
Ready
out
Player One?
last year.
No,
Player One. I love that
no.
one, but we didn't mention
That has nothing to do. No,
Alright.
I was going to mention Scott Pilgrim.
Scott, that's a very cool film. I love that film. I love that film. Scott Pilgrim versus.
that's
the
based
World.
on a graphic novel. Based on a series of graphic
Exactly.
novels.
It was
Yeah?
based on the comic. Then they made a film out of it. I loved it. Though I think it's the only film where I could accept what was the guy's name? Michael Cera being a protagonist.
Yeah.
Because every other film that he's in, he's really awkward.
Even in Scott Pilgrim, he's awkward.
But I guess he was good for that film, and then
Yeah. And his character is an awkward guy.
exactly.
Yeah.
But then they made video games out of it, which were really done well. So kind of it had a nice combination of everything. If you're a gamer, you're gonna love Scott Pilgrim, sort of, just like how there are gamers who also love. You can mention Wreck-It Ralph, since it has so much homages to games.
You can, yeah.
Or Ready Player One, which we just
Ready
mentioned.
Player One was that
But Ready
so
Player
many.
One, it's true. Though Ready Player One had it, okay, it did have its homages to certain games, but not as much as Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph had the proper characters and interacting with them, especially the villains and when they're doing therapy and all that. That was funny.
No, that's brilliant. Like, I was so surprised they got in so many IPs in.
Yeah. Even in the two, Sonic actually has a few lines with him. He's talking about Wi-Fi, and it was funny that Sonic shows up and speaks and all that.
It's when we see the actual characters and plots that a film works. Otherwise, if you try to change it, then fuck you. Just like the disappointment we're gonna see with Monster Hunter.
Oh, that's gonna be bad. Yep.
No.
Well, obviously, the guys who made Resident Evil are making it. The same
Yes.
team.
Exact same thing.
So,
Like the Instagram photos of I forgot the actress name, Mila.
Mila Jovovich
Exactly.
hasn't aged at all. I still remember her from the Fifth Element.
In fact, she's like 43 now.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Yeah, no, I googled it.
Anyway, I think we can wrap it up.
All right.
Final
Cool.
comments.
Yeah, and I mean,
We chose our favorite films, which William chose to mention a film that we didn't mention. Yeah, thank you for coming on the show, Ashely.
It was a pleasure.
A lot of fun.
fun.
Look forward to
it's
more.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Which is cool because, as I said, I told you this before. Podcast is cool because I can do it in my underwear and no one would notice. When I do a video, people have to see me get dressed.
nah, this was definitely fun, and hopefully more game film related stuff come out so that we can all pick on them all together.
Yeah.
We do another one like this for sure.
Definitely.
But when Sonic comes out.
Sonic, yeah.
Pikachu,
when we
Sonic.
see how bad.
Pikachu, Sonic, yeah.
We mentioned Hitman, right?
Yes, Hitman, yeah, definitely.
Uncharted.
Yeah.
We have what to shit on.
Shit on. Anyway, thank you guys. As usual, we're on all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. As we mentioned last time, we're also on Spotify, finally.
Yep, iTunes on Spotify and SoundCloud. You can find these episodes.
Yep.
And that's for us. Where can people find you, Ashely?
So I'm on all social medias. If you look for Peschel Talks, I'll spell it very, very quickly. It's Peschel Talks. And I do YouTube videos. I do YouTube videos, mostly me being an idiot. Or sometimes I do a love. I missed last night. I drank 3/4 of a bottle of Jack Fire live on air, and that was a laugh. So yeah, I do some crazy things like that and just talk about films because I love films. So come check me out. As I said, check out the channel if you want to check me out. So again, yeah, it's a laugh. I enjoy it.
Definitely.
And, the main thing is meeting other people who like films and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Yep.
Same as us. Do it because we love it.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. It was fun.
Cheers.
Thank you. So, bye-bye.
Thank you and bye.
Bye.